you said at the tournament you like when people dislike you. Did you mean it?
Yeah, I think it's a compliment.
Let's bring in Boston College forward and back-to-back world champion Ryan Leonard. How are you, Ryan?
Great. How are you guys? Thanks for having me.
I'm great. Pete's better. You are Pete's favorite hockey player in the world, which is a little weird to me because you just turned 20.
Shut up. You rock, buddy. You're the best. Thanks for coming on. Much appreciated. I mean, it's crazy. I think I'll say this to you right now. I think that you are the first player that I've ever declared my favorite player before reaching the NHL. You are the best. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Congrats on the big year. Congrats on the big weekend. You guys had a clean sweep against BU over the weekend. How was that whole thing for you?
Yeah, I mean, the environment just speaks for itself. It's one to play hockey in that, and then another thing to come out on top. It's so rewarding, and you walk to the rink in the morning at 9 a.m. and there's already 5 people outside waiting in the line, and you're like, holy, this is gonna be sick tonight. And the line just keeps growing and growing, and you just realize how big the fan base is here and how passionate people are about this weekend especially, and really just being Eagle in general. So it was super fun, and really happy that we came out on top twice.
When did you find out on Saturday about the bench minor that BU was assessed for giving their goalie a rookie lap? And did you know that was a rule?
I knew you couldn't go out before the refs. The rookie lap wouldn't have been a problem if he went out when they were supposed to, but since he went out before the refs, then that was the whole thing. But our coach Greg Brown came in after our warm-ups, and he was like, guys, we're starting on the power play. I don't know if we can change because my line was starting, me, Andre Gasso, and Oscar Jelvik. We were starting, and he was like, Gasser, your line's still going as of right now. I don't know if we can change yet. So we get their starting 5 gets announced for them. Like it was a normal 5-on-5 to start the game, and my line and 2 defensemen get announced to come out, and then the refs skate over to our bench and all right, you can change it and put it whatever unit you want now. And so we put my unit out there, and then they put their 4 killers. It was pretty weird, but it's definitely a unique way to start a game, especially in a BCBU weekend, but I guess take it when you can get it.
You're, number 1 in the nation. It's too bad your NHL team is really bad, though. So is that a bummer for you as a Capitals fan?
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun to watch this year for sure. A lot of good guys on that team, and it looks like it's a lot of fun.
Do you feel like you made the right decision to go back? Because all last year, Pete was like, the Capitals were an interesting team last year, for better or worse. And Pete would say, if they get in, though, they might have Ryan Leonard, and that might change things. How do you feel about your decision in hindsight to go back?
Yeah, it was probably the toughest decision of my life. It never crossed my mind that there was going to be an opportunity to leave after 1 year. It was always a 2-year plan kind of for me, and do as best I can the first season, then come back in year 2 and try to do a lot for the team. But yeah, I know I made the right decision, especially after the season last year and after I made that decision, and then hanging out with the guys more in the spring, really just being a student, having fun, just being a normal kid. And then coming back this year, I knew if I signed, there was going to be a question mark if I could go to World Juniors, and then to come back and then be the captain over there and to win gold again, do something that USA has never done. It was definitely the right decision, and our team's doing great this year, so excited for these next upcoming weeks.
I do want to talk about World Juniors in a little bit, but what's the experience like watching the Caps, knowing that that's your team soon, and seeing kind of the surprising, I would say, success that they've had this year. Like, what's that whole experience been like for you watching them develop over the past like 6 months or so?
Yeah, it's cool. Like I said earlier, it's all the guys in there really seem like they're having fun, and you look at any winning culture or winning team, it's guys aren't going there to just do their job. They're going there to have fun, and it seems like everyone's really the excitement's really high, and they're still loving the game that they play every day. So, um, and then you got Ovi going after the record, having just another normal season for him. It's so fun to watch, and then both goalies have been tremendous. And then the depth of scoring, it's just been so much fun to watch.
Is there any part of you that like hopes Ovi doesn't break the record until you get there so you can be part of it?
I mean, yeah, yes and no. I feel like I get there and I don't even need to like do anything on the play. I'll just if I was on the bench or something, I just think it would just be um, it'd be way cooler just to be there in that moment than just watching it on TV. Um, but he's gonna break it. It's only a matter of time, and he's really fun to watch.
Do you have any sort of relationship with him yet?
No, I've talked to him, I think just twice now. I think he texted me after I got drafted, and then he just texted me after World Juniors. So um, I've been there. I've seen them play Boston last year, so went down to the locker room after and said hi to a couple guys, and he was down there. But he's just another guy.
Top 10 picks aren't usually dropped into like real contenders. It's usually got to be kind of part of a rebuild, but what they've done has just been insane. When you got drafted, did you think that you'd get to kind of skip all that? Because as it appears right now, you're not going to have to go through any sort of rebuild. You're just going to begin your career on a good team.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the team just keeps building and building. It's definitely tough for some guys, especially to get drafted as I was lucky enough to be. Um, but it's different to see some guys go into a team where winning is tough, and winning is still tough night in night out in the NHL. But to see what the Caps are doing this year consistently, it's really fun to watch. But even just a couple of my friends, Will, Cutter too, especially like they're top end players, but it's different at the NHL level, and they'll figure it out eventually. They're all good enough players, but I'm lucky enough right now with how the Caps are doing, and hopefully they just keep getting better.
Have those guys shared anything with you about just kind of like the transition to the NHL game or like the grind or anything like that?
Yeah. Well, Will was on one of those load managements at the start of the year, but he's not doing that anymore. I'm a little bit closer with Will than I am with Cutter, so talking to him a little bit more consistently than Cutter. But they both just said it's extremely different. Um, Mistake you can't make any more little mistakes because you're playing against superstars, and um, not some guys in college will bury on every single chance that you mess up on, but you got to be a little bit more detailed, and it's definitely going to be a learning curve for sure for me, but they're starting to figure it out right now, so I trust myself that I can too.
How good is James Higgins?
Yeah, I mean he's so good. He's so fun to play with, and he's so fun to be around. So I think those are two areas there. You see special players with how good they are on the ice, and then how they are as a person off the ice. James is so fun off the ice. He's a loose, energetic guy, and he's always got a smile on his face. But when he's on the ice, he's still out there having fun. When he's got the puck on his stick, he makes special things happen, and he sees the ice so well, and he skates so smooth. So he's gonna have a great career, and really happy to be a part of his team this year.
I mean, it's super cool that you guys got to just transfer your line to the World Juniors, and like part of the fun of the World Juniors this year was not only how good you guys were, but like the attitude that you brought into the tournament. And it seemed like you guys kind of relished being the big bad villains at points. Where did that stem from? Was it like disgust at all, or was it just kind of the personalities in that room and maybe having a target on your back?
Yeah, John Van Beesbrook actually talked about it in the summer when we had our first meeting and a big group of guys before we cut it down a little bit to the guys who were actually going to bring over there. But everyone knew what was at stake and how no U.S. team has ever gone back to back, and going into a Canadian atmosphere, it's just going to be 10 times as tough. But you just kind of had to realize that we're not going to have, it's not going to be our fan base at all, because even if Canada loses, the U.S. is still the last team they want to win. It's just how the rivalry goes, and we just kind of learned to deal with it and kind of embrace it in the moment and just kind of have fun with it.
Did you really embrace it in the moment, or you said at the tournament you like when people dislike you? Did you mean it?
Yeah, I think it's a compliment. To be hated, it shows that they see our team as a threat. They knew that when we beat them in the round robin, that it was going to be tough for them to really come back, and it would have been fun to play them again. But it just didn't work out that way, and I think we all liked being the villain in that tournament for sure.
How badly do you want/need to win a national championship before you leave?
Yeah, I think it's a need. Coming back here for the second year, it was that's what's coming back. It's not about what you do yourself, what other guys do, the awards. None of that means anything if you can't win a championship. And we talked about that, especially at World Juniors. It was a little bit different. Guys weren't really scoring as much as first, and we all just kind of talked about, like, it doesn't matter, the points, the goals, whatever. It doesn't matter. Goalies, what your save percentage is. If we all just come together and really win together, that's the fun part. And we all know it's going to be a super tough task to get back to the Frozen Four and then to win the national championship. But our team's definitely trending in the right direction right now, and our best hockey is yet to come.
I hate to dig up old wounds, but I have to ask, how much do you hate Matt Davis?
Yeah, he played good. You got to tip your cap, and he won him that game. And yeah, he was great all regional and in the NCAA tournament. So we knew it was going to be a tough task to put one by him. Hopefully we see him at some point this year.
Have you rewatched the save at any point since the national championship? That save, the diving save, was like one of the best saves I've ever seen in my life. I feel so bad that it happened to you.
I mean, yeah, definitely wish that went in. But yeah, I mean, anyone scrolls on their Instagram, whatever you want to call it, after the weeks to come after that, you see it, and sometimes I definitely clicked on it just to, like, what the fuck? Like, how did that not go in? But I mean, yeah, it's hockey sometimes.
All right. Well, you see behind us, we've got 1 million jerseys hanging up. And when the Capitals went on this run this year, I was like, we got to get a PLD for the set. And Pete is insistent on waiting to get a Ryan Leonard. So
it'll be there.
That will be loading at some point. We'll have a Ryan Leonard jersey hanging back here. You're going to be an absolute stud in the NHL. We love watching you in college. Thanks so much for joining us, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We all silly like the mayor.